Hey everyone, it's January 29th. There's a ton going on in the world of CrossFit right now from a competitive standpoint. So thought I'd just give kind of a quick rundown of what's happening in the world. All the eyes in CrossFit world were on Wodapalooza this past weekend. You had James Sprague proving that he is legit and deserves to be in the elite or top end of the men's field with his win at Wodapalooza. Lucy Campbell not only made her triumphant comeback to the competition floor, she kind of had a career best finish winning Wodapalooza on the women's side. For the teams, it was the boys of Noah Olson, Chandler Smith, and Travis Mayer taking the top spot in the men's competition. And then it was Daniel Brandon, Shelby Neal, and Emma Lawson taking it from the women's side. While the majority of the eyes in the CrossFit world were on Wodapalooza, there's a little event going on in the UAE, the Crucible. There were some big names at that event. So on the women's side, it was headlined by Jamie Simmons. She took that top prize there. While on the men's side, it was Miko Lilleberg. He took the top spot. Behind him, Reggie Fassa in second, and Tola Marquinho, he was in third. Interesting enough, exchange rates in place. Top prize in that competition was about $30,000 or 30,000 US dollars, which would have put the winners of that competition in the same level as second in the indie field at Wodapalooza. Interesting to see tournament over in the UAE has a little bit more prize money than what we've seen as for a second place finish in one of the biggest events of the year. With Wodapalooza done, the in-person qualifying events are in full swing. You got the Mayhem Classic. They're slowly dripping out their athletes. Last time I checked, Christine Colabrander accepted her invite. She's 27th in the Rogue ranking, so well past the 20th place finish that they would have initially emailed out from an invite standpoint. So see how that field shapes up. NorCal Classic, their qualifier finishes on January 30th at midnight Pacific time. So we should start to get an idea of who will be competing there, obviously pending video review. Wodland Fest, they pushed their qualifier past Wodapalooza. Their first events are dropping today, January 29th. That qualifier runs until February 17th, so lots of time to get into that qualifier event over in Spain. This upcoming weekend, you got the Fittest Expereince going off down in Austin, Texas. That's been a standalone event for a long time, but a little extra carrot on the end of the string for the athletes in Austin. The top three finishers in the Fittest Expereince will get an invite to the TFX Invitational in May, which is an in-person qualifying event for the CrossFit Games. So nice to kind of get that qualifying spot out of the way before the Open. And lastly, Syndicate Crown, from a competition standpoint, they put a little bit more clearly into writing over this past week. Only athletes who have not qualified for the CrossFit Games will be eligible to compete in the Syndicate Crown. They want all 30 men and women there to be fighting for those games tickets. So that does mean, based off their qualifying scheme, if you do finish as one of the top 20 athletes from North America East in the CrossFit Open, you will get an invite to the Syndicate Crown. But if you then qualify through the in-person or in-affiliate semifinals, your invite could then be revoked and given to somebody else. So a little bit of fine print, but just something to be aware of if you are fortunate enough to be one of those athletes that qualifies for the CrossFit Games out of the in-affiliate semifinals. You won't need to go to the Syndicate Crown and compete there, and you won't be able to go to the Syndicate Crown and compete there. So keep an eye on that piece. And then we are just over 4 weeks until the CrossFit Open. In his week in review, Dave Castro dropped that we will see a repeat workout in this year's Open. As well, with the CrossFit Games rulebook, Open registrations directly correlate to prize purse. We're sitting around 50% of where registrations were last year, which is going to mean the prize purse is roughly 50% of where it is last year. Interesting to see how that plays out from an athlete perspective. Are athletes going to be going to the CrossFit Games if the prize purse they can expect is significantly less than they got last year? Something to keep an eye on, but it is where we are with registration today. With that, it's a quick rundown of the event. And later this week, we'll have a quick show on just kind of one overarching question over the competitive field for each of the in-person qualifying events, just to add a little bit more perspective of what those competitions could look like. With that, take care, have a good day, and happy fitnessing.